City. I hope that all of you are having a wonderful day. This is actually my very first live stream ever, and so I just wanted to do something new for everything. I just thought it would be fun to see what's going on as well as see how all of you are doing. To be honest, I've never really done one of these before, but I'm really excited right now because this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Also, I just want to thank all of you out there for helping me achieve 2,000 subscribers. I feel like an Eevee because so many of you have helped me evolve in so many different ways. I'm just kind of curious to know, is there anything that you want to know about with me? Because I can answer a lot of questions. I just hope that I get to meet as many of you as I can today. Well, if you do have anything that you want me to know, I'm happy to oblige. Just hit me up whenever you can, and I'll just be here for a little bit of time. Hmm. Hmm. I guess I could talk about some stuff that's going on in the future. One thing I am going to be doing that is kind of new is I am going to be learning how to use different softwares so I can make better videos for all of you. You've been with me for a very long time, trainers, and I'm very happy that I have a great audience with people like you. Also, I just want to say that, hmm, just kind of curious about something. Sorry, I'm all new to this. I don't know if, oh boy, I dropped my Pokeball. That was the sound of my Pokeball crashing. I just want to know if there a thing I need to do or something. Oh, never mind. That's just a highlight button. I'm just seeing if there's a chat or anything. I don't see a chat or anything. Chat options. Okay. Okay, give me a second. Oh, hello, Puppy Sparkles. It's good to see you. Glad that you could join us for the chat. I'm glad. Also, I'm really happy that you've made so many different requests this year for my videos. I'm just here to answer any of your questions, so type something down and I'm happy to talk. I'm doing good. Hope that you're doing well as well. I guess one thing I could probably talk about is what's coming up. Well, I do have a bunch of props ready for the spooky season. I'm really excited to show every one of you some stuff that's in here, but I might as well just take a little bit of time and maybe just give you a little hint of what's to come. How's that? How about this for a hint? Hmm? I guess you know what we're going to be talking about. And trust me, this is going to get really creepy. Not every Pokemon that we need to talk about for the spooky season needs to be a ghost type. There are plenty out there that we can talk on that also have some very freaky things to them. Well, I'm still here to answer any of your questions, so please type some down and I'm happy to read as many as I can. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can get any more down here. Oh, is there any new? Top chat. Let's see, live chat. Anyone want any questions to know about me? Because I'm happy to answer. If you also have any questions about any of the games or anything, I'm happy to say the exact same thing. I guess I could. Does anyone want to know anything? Hmm. Sorry if I become a little quiet. It's just sometimes I just really want to make something really good happen. Huh. Let's see. Trying to see. Look around right here. I guess one thing I could also show off to you guys is I got something brand new the other day in the mail. Something that I'll be using in the future. I made this series a long time ago. I made Hitting the Gym a little bit ago, but I got myself new badge cases. Oh, yes, I actually. Oh, thank you, Puppy Sparkles. I'm glad that you're excited for looking towards the spooky season. There is one Pokemon line that I am looking really forward to doing, but I'm going to save that one for Halloween. You see, last year I really wanted to do that Pokemon. Unfortunately, because of what happened, it just was unable for me to. I was unable to get it, but thankfully I did manage to get it now. So I hope that you're looking forward for Halloween. Trust me, we're going to end on a really spooky note for October. Hmm. Is there anything else that you want to know? Like any videos I've made or anything else out there? I just really enjoy making a bunch of content and everything. Huh. Let's see. Looking around and everything else. Sorry if I'm looking down there. I just also just want to say thank you all for 2,000 subscribers once again. this really just blows my mind. I really do feel like an Eevee because how Eevee can evolve in many different ways. You've all helped me evolve in so many different ways. Maybe I am an Eevee myself. I just really love my Eeveelution plushies. Do any of you have any favorite Eeveelutions? What's your favorite one? I guess another thing I could also talk about is maybe a first adventure oh, what's this? Out of all the videos I have, which is my favorite video? This is gonna sound kind of weird. It's not my highest viewed video. It's not even my best made video. But the video that I really like the most is actually my Trubbish and Garbodor video. These Pokemon were a lot of fun to work with. And yes, hello. Hello, Billy Bros. Yes, I am a real Pokemon professor. But to answer Puppy Sparkle's question, my favorite video I've actually worked on is Trubbish and Garbodor because it was actually fun. And there's a really cool finish up. My professor for Earth Science told me to. My professor in Earth Science said we could do an extra credit assignment with Earth Day, and I asked if I could do something with Trubbish and Garbodor. I showed her the line, and she said, "Let me just see your video, and I'll see what I think about it." So I made my video Garbage Day, and when I came back to class, she stopped me after class and she told me not only am I getting the extra credit assignment, but she really liked the video. She subscribed to my channel, and best of all, she actually bought the plushies of Trubbish and Garbodor because she thought they were really cute. It really made me feel happy, and that's why this is probably my favorite video. Trubbish and Garbodor are not my favorite line, but I am glad that I made a subscriber out of my teacher, and I even helped someone become a Pokemon trainer. Well, it's my job. I'm a Pokemon trainer. Hello there, Chloe. Good to see you, friend. Hoping that everything's going well with you. I'm so sorry if I went on for a little too long. Whew. This is just my first live stream, and I'm just trying to get the hang of everything. So, what's going on with all of you? Any of your videos doing well? I mean, I gotta say, I've seen a few of your videos. I still think that my favorite one has to be the one that you did of Ash and Iris having the banter between each other. Gotta be honest. Aren't you a little kid? I'm no kid. I'm the champion. Like, seriously? You're not a kid? Aren't you just talking like Muffin Healer? Oh, thank you very much. Huh. I guess a lot of you can also see that in most of my videos, I have these posters behind me. If you don't actually pay attention, I always try to have like the background detail show something. Like in some of my videos, I also have props in the background. These are actually there for a reason because if you ever pause the video, there's a little bit of an Easter egg so you can see that I have what's it called? I have Pokemon that have to relate to the thing. Like usually, if I was doing a video on a Sinnoh region line or something, I'd have the 3 Sinnoh legendary Pokemon. I'd have Sinnoh Pokemon for it, or even a couple of Pokemon based on the typing. And coming up for the spooky season, I am going to have a lot of Ghost and Dark types in the background. Is there anything else that you want? Oh, what's my favorite Pokemon? Well, I may have said it before, but my favorite Pokemon is Lucario. This has always been my favorite Pokemon, and I didn't wear my Lucario shirt because I wore that for my 2K special, but Blaziken and Torchic are also a very special line to me. Lucario is my favorite Pokemon because in any region I can catch it in, I always do. It's been with me in every single region except for the Alola region. I still have never gotten over the fact that you can't get Lucario until post game for that region. That always really annoys me. And before you ask, yes, I also really do love Riolu. In fact, if you didn't know, Lucario and Riolu were the Pokemon I covered for my first ever birthday special. I want to talk on Blaziken and Torchic as I did get them for my first day of being a trainer in the Hoenn region. Oh, in case I haven't ever shown any of you people or any of you trainers, do I still have it with me? Maybe I don't with me. Oh, there it is. Sorry, just have a couple props here. I still have my original Emerald cartridge. You might be kind of surprised about this, but I have a lot of old games on here. So, well, I have a lot of old Pokemon games. I just haven't used this game in forever. It's kind of a relic to me. I was thinking maybe I might talk about Pokemon Emerald in the future for a birthday special, but I guess we'll see. I might save it for next year because it'll be 20 years since I became a trainer as soon as I use this. It is kind of crazy to think that one game changed my life forever. Anything else that anyone wants any questions on? Anything or any ideas that you want for a video that I could probably touch upon? I'm free like an open book. I'm free to talk to anyone. Always happy to meet as many new trainers as I can. Anybody? Okay. I guess I could also say that my whole journey. Oh, if you could add any new typing to Pokemon, what would it be? To be honest, I think the Pokemon typing I really want to add is sound typing. Mainly for the fact that sound has been like, well, we've had a lot of sound based moves. And also, as much as I do love the Exploud, Loudred, and the Exploud, Loudrin, and the Whismur line, I think that sound typing would be amazing. Also, it would be great to finally give Eevee a new evolution in that. Speaking of evolutions, did you actually know that the 8th generation of Pokemon broke a tradition? You see, in almost every single region, every single even region, with the exception of Gen 8, every even region has introduced at least a new evolution. In Gen 2, we got Umbreon and Espeon. In Gen 4, we got Leafeon and Glaceon. And in Gen 6, we just got Sylveon. Now, this was the first time they did not do that. What was also kind of interesting to think about is that was the same region that pretty much changed evolution forever. Well, evolving EVs as Leafeon, as I said before, I said this many times before, but both Leafeon and Glaceon, who originally evolved with the Moss Rock and the Ice Rock, now were changed to evolving with a Leaf Stone and an Ice Stone. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great either for a fact that this is something that's kind of been there for the whole time. Like, another problem I've always had with that sort of situation is, like, what if there was like another thing I've had a problem with Gen 8 is that they also just changed some evolutions. Like what's that one called? Vikavolt. Vikavolt. Trust me, as much as I like Vikavolt, and I do think it was a pain to get because you had to go to Mount because you had to go to the Pony Vast Canyon in Sun and Moon, and then had to go to a different route to level it up with the strong magnetic field. I'm okay that it now evolves with a Thunderstone, but it kind of changes a lot of things that gets kind of annoying. Like, imagine if, where is it? Like, imagine this. Imagine in a game that they abolished the whole sun and moon mechanic, the time mechanic, and now you have to evolve your Eevee into Espeon or Umbreon by using a Sunstone and a Moonstone. Don't you think that would be kind of annoying? I mean, I'm okay when they make new things, but sometimes getting rid of something for something different just can be really annoying. I'm just gonna put these guys back. Sorry about that. Just want to put my little props back for later, in case. Anything else anyone wants to know? Oh yeah, and if I was going to make a typing with sound, I think that maybe electric type should be super effective. Be super effective on it because water only had, or maybe it should be super effective on water. I think that maybe water and electric should now get something more. Huh. Is there anything else anyone wants me to talk about? Because I really do like answering questions and everything. Chloe, Puffy Sparkles, anyone? I always am happy to welcome any new trainers here. All of you are very fun to talk to. I mean, as a job as a Pokemon professor, I just always like to hear what anyone else has to say about their sort of things. Hmm. I guess if there's anything you want me to talk on, I could go back to the past, similar to Miraidon. Did anybody actually like the whole idea of Paradox Pokemon? Because I was kind of mixed on it. I don't know. I mean, Paradox Pokemon is kind of cool that we can see Pokemon from the past in the future, but it kind of gets a little weird thinking, how did they get here? But they do have very funny Pokedex entries, especially Iron Jugulus. Like, that's something that I'm never going to forget. Hmm. I don't know. I just, hmm. Anything that I can think about, I just usually think. I mean, one thing I do know that I want to make in the future is videos with fossil Pokemon. Oh, if you had to pick, what would you say is your least favorite Pokemon you've had to work with? That's an easy answer. If all of you like this Pokemon, that's fine. But the one Pokemon I really don't think I can stand is Mawile. I don't have a plushie with it, but this is my only reason why I have such a complaint with Mawile. My reason why is in Gen 3, when it was introduced, this was the first pure Steel type Pokemon. And as cool as having a pure Steel type Pokemon is, since we had never had one, it couldn't learn any Steel type moves through level up. You couldn't even teach it one through TM or just through TM. The only steel type move it learned was Iron Defense. You'd think with those claws it has, it could actually learn the move I like Metal Claw, and you'd think that maybe in the next generations it learns some better steel type moves. But no. Again, like in the next generation, you have to give it a TM for a steel type move. And then when we added the fairy typing, that's when it started getting really annoying, in my opinion. It's because, as cool as fairy typing is, I just think that what's annoying is, again, there it is, a cool steel fairy typing, only learning one offensive fairy type move and one offensive steel type move. That's just my opinion, but is there a Pokemon that you don't really like working with? I mean, the only time I knew that I really didn't like working with Mawile was recently when I did a Nuzlocke with it. If you're somebody who really does like Mawile, that's good for you. It was just my personal opinion. I don't know. It's just that I just really can't stand some Pokemon that really have a really good typing and then basically learn nothing from it. That'd be like making a water and grass type Pokemon, but it doesn't even learn any grass or water type moves. I mean, we do have Lotad, Lombre, and Lundacola, which is a really cool combo, but I would say that it would be annoying. Imagine if they didn't even learn a single move that actually. Imagine if they didn't even learn a single move that actually could help them out for that whole thing. You know what actually is kind of crazy to think of? I think that a lot of you know that I am a flying type person. Sorry, I just had Aerodactyl close to me, but I'm a flying type person, and Aerodactyl is my favorite thing out there. Oh, you personally don't like Gardevoir? That's understandable. I mean, hey, everybody has that one Pokemon they really don't like out there. Maybe it's just a little too blown out of proportion. Maybe it's just some people don't entirely think it's the best thing ever, but that's fine. But what I have to say though is I think it's kind of crazy to think that we've had three that it took till Gen 5 to get the first pure flying type Pokemon. And you want to know something that's even crazier to think about? Here's something that's actually a bit crazier to think about. As much as we really do love Larry, he actually did something that no other flying type expert has ever done. He actually used a pure flying type Pokemon. If you think about it, when he terastallized his Flamigo to becoming a flying type Pokemon, that's technically the first time we've ever seen a flying type Pokemon. A flying type expert use a pure flying type. I always wonder, what is it with flying type Pokemon? Why can they just not be pure? Surprisingly, though, Blue Boy Finn, who's another YouTuber, actually did the research and found out that earlier we were supposed to actually have ourselves a real pure flying type line. If you don't know, if you don't know, originally in the beta, Swellow and Talo were going to be the first pure flying type line. The reason why is when he did the research and it said pure flying type, but at the same time, during a test battle, someone tried using the move Lick on Talo and it worked. So if you think about it, that's proof at the same time. That's the double the proof that both it wasn't a dual type and also it was the first pure flying type Pokemon. I don't know. I just really like flying types. I guess another reason why I love flying type is I'm a bird lover. Bird Pokemon are my favorite. Then again, I started my journey with a little bird itself. Torchic! Guess you could tell because of my shirt. Thanks again, Techronova, for these amazing shirts. I hope that you visit her Etsy shop. I really do think that you'll look great in these. Huh. I guess another thing I could also talk about that I also have an interest in is, like I didn't touch upon it, was fossil Pokemon. Sorry, let me get a better fossil for that one. I love fossil Pokemon. Okay. Fossil Pokemon are also really good. You saw the Gudra in that episode in the new episode Blind Brutality. Yeah, actually they call it the Gen 6 Sitting Cuties all came out on Pokemon Center. So please expect seeing a bunch of those videos down the line. Same thing like I said with the Gen 5. I'm sorry if I've been a little bit delayed with them. It's just work and a lot of other stuff has kind of held me back. But yeah, of course, I'm definitely going to do a Gudra line. And since you're requesting it, I'm going to give you a special shout out, Puppy Sparkles. Huh. I also know that you really like dragon type Pokemon, and I don't blame you. Dragon type Pokemon are great, especially for the fact that we've had so many legendary Pokemon that are dragon types. Hmm. I actually do want to mention this though. I do one day plan to redo the Dialga and Palkia video. This is one of the videos I felt like I did the worst job on, so I want to make it better in the future. It's gonna have a completely different name. It's not gonna be Matter of Time and Space, but it's gonna be a lot of different things. Huh. I will also say that another thing I'm looking forward to the spooky season is going back to talking about a lot of ghost type Pokemon. They're a really great typing. It's just that I feel the best time to talk about them is during the spooky season of October. When it comes to spooky Pokemon or creepy Pokemon, is there something out there that you really like and think is a really cool creepy line? Well, I guess I can also talk about some other stuff if you want. Anyone else have any questions or anything you want to talk on? Anyone? I'm happy to hear whatever you have to tell me. Even if it's just a hello, I'll always respond to you with hi, hey, hello, whatever. Hmm. Are there any regions that any of you like? Like, just question is like, what was the first region many of you started off in that began your Pokemon journey? I don't know. I'm always happy to just mention a bunch of stuff out there. I guess one thing I could also show you is, oh, one thing I should also show you all is that I got myself my Johto badges recently. What do you think? Do you know which badges these are? It's okay if it's not. I got to rearrange them. I just got these the other day. Also, please expect this for the spooky season because one of these videos I'm doing for there is going to actually show this thing. I guess you can tell who I'm going to be talking about first for the spooky season. But if not, maybe I'll give you a little bit of a hint. That one. Let's just say that we're going to talk a little bit about a ghost type expert. The Not the first ghost type expert as Agatha was, but the first one that really became somewhat of a roadblock to us and also kind of did change some of our lives. Me personally. Hmm. Oh, and I should also show you, I have my Sinnoh badges. Yes, I know it's pink. Yeah, yeah. But here we are with my Sinnoh badges. What do you think? What do you I bought these online and they were some of my things also. But I guess you could also say that at the same time, these are kind of, you could also make the joke that these are all my badges from my journey. And to be honest, I've been on so many journeys. Oh, what's this? I've always been a huge fan of Sinnoh and Alola. I grew up playing the Sinnoh and had come back. Came back. Oh, I hope that Sun and Moon was fun to come back to. It was definitely a different region compared to most of the other ones, considering the fact that we did not have gyms. But I hope that it was fun. I will admit, though, as different and strange as what was that region called? The Alola region was for giving us totem Pokemon. I kind of liked it. I thought it was something really fun, and I'm sure that the other people must have liked it too because they brought it back for a couple of other games. I was glad that they brought it back for both Scarlet and Violet. That was a lot of fun, even if they're just called Titan Pokemon. We don't have to call them. We don't have to call them Totem Pokemon. But I also enjoyed that we got it back for Legends Arceus. I'd even go on record and say that Pokemon Legends Arceus really is a masterpiece of a game. Been a huge fan. Oh, never mind. Sorry, just reading the other thing. Is there any other thing you want to talk on? I guess another thing I could also say that I really like talking about for some of my videos is, I'm sorry if I do a long intro for some of them. I just really kind of like to get things in the mood. Also, I do just want to mention that I am sorry for this wayward month. I've been kind of going through a lot of things right now. I just hope that you can just forgive me for this. I'm really going to get back on track for the spooky season. It's, let's just say there's some family stuff going on, and my grandpa, who turned 90, which is amazing, is kind of having some problems right now, and I'm a little nervous. I say, besides Mew, who's your favorite legendary? Actually, Mew is a mythical Pokemon, and I have it right here with me. Such a cute Mew. Huh. Who's my favorite legendary Pokemon? To be honest, I don't know if I actually have a favorite legendary Pokemon. I mean, there's so many good ones. Hmm, that's a good question. Let me think. Who's a good legendary Pokemon? That one that I have used in every play. Because the thing is that as much fun as legendary Pokemon are, I don't really play with them a lot after I catch them. I mean, sometimes we have to catch them, sometimes we don't, but all in all, these Pokemon are kind of fun to have by our side. Also, they are the box art legendary. I guess I'd say maybe if I had to pick one, maybe Kyurem, because Kyurem does have that really cool Ice and Dragon typing. Also, I think I might just think that I don't know. I also like the fact that it could fuse with other Pokemon. It was technically not the first Pokemon fusion, as we had a few in Gen 1, but I do got to admit it was kind of cool seeing that this was the first on screen use of Pokemon Fusion. Pokemon Infinite Fusion is awesome. I got to download that game. It's been a lot of fun seeing how many people make really cool fusions out of it. One of my favorite things is that they've had a couple of Ben 10 fusions on there. Ben 10 was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. I actually am thinking about making a video with Ben 10, well, a reference to it with the Rotom line. Only because Rotom is like one of the aliens I loved from the show, who was Upgrade. I'm sure that many of you know who Upgrade is, right? In case you don't, he was an alien that, when melded to some sort of some machine, he would make it his own kind of thing. So it would be kind of fun to talk on what's it called Rotom down the line. It's also kind of cool to think that we've had Rotom come into other things. That it's been a Pokedex, it's been a phone, and it's been other things as well. I also like that episode of Pokemon Sun and Moon where he accidentally became the entire Poke Center. Did you know that in some concept art of Pokemon Sun and Moon that we were originally going to get ambulances? Well, an ambulance instead of Pokemon centers in some places. It kind of does make me wonder what would the ambulance for the Pokemon Center been like. It does seem like a cool idea, though. It's also kind of crazy to think that it took till what gen were we in for Sun and Moon? I know that there were a lot of police officers in other generations, but I think it's kind of crazy to think that it took till Gen. Sorry, I'm just trying to think right now. Which generation was it? Gen 7 till we finally saw the first fire department in a. We saw the first firefighters in Pokemon, and then Gen 8 was the first time we ever saw a fire station in Pokemon. But you know what's also kind of crazy to think of when I look back at something? When I look back at Pokemon Legends Arceus, it's kind of crazy to think that we had to wait till Legends Arceus till we saw what ceilings look like in the building. Because if you really think about it, every other thing that we were in pretty much had it set in like one angle. It was always like an overhead view. It was never like an angle where you could look around. It's I know it's just a ceiling and it's kind of silly, but I think if you think about it, it's kind of crazy it took that long. No, what's this? Yeah, the reason of mythical the reason that Pokemon have different meanings, like let's see. The meaning between mythical and legendary actually has to do with something different. Legendary is something that you can get within the game, while mythical is usually 9 out of 10 times given out by an event or something and has an event linked to it for something. That's why they're called mythical. The only one I can somewhat say kind of broke that tradition, other than Mew and Celebi back in the day, is the new one, Pekarant, the new Pokemon from the epilogue of Mochi Mayhem. Only reason why is this was the first Pokemon that is classified as a mythical Pokemon that what is it? That was not given out as an event Pokemon, but rather in the DLC. I gotta actually play the end of the Mochi Mayhem thing. Any other questions anyone has? Hmm. Sorry if I'm going a little quiet. My voice is kind of hurting me a lot from a lot of talking. Huh. I'll take any questions, even if you just want to say hello. I'm happy with that. Anybody? Hmm. I guess I should ask all of you something. Who's your favorite Pokemon, or What's a Pokemon typing that you really like the best? Anything that you want to tell me about? Go right ahead. I'm happy to answer any of your questions or see what you are interested in. Huh. Just trying to think of a better thing. I guess one thing I could also talk about is if we were to get another Pokemon movie, what do you think would. Oh, what's this thing? Everyone. Oh, hello, friend. How are you? How are you, sir? How are you? What is your name? Your name is Alex. Hello, Alex. Nice to meet you. How are you? Anything you want to ask? Yo, hello, Mr. Shiny Hunter. Good to see you, buddy. You were the one who's really helped me out a lot with the whole like keep going, keep going. And I'm glad I got a friend like you. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Just a little thing. I think I'm just gonna get a thing of water. I'll be. Hmm. Anyone else have any questions or anything they want to answer? I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go grab a glass of water. Hmm. Anybody have any other questions? If you have any other questions, type them out. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna grab a glass of water. Hmm. Maybe I'll just use mute. Maybe I'll just keep my mute right here for a little bit. Oh, I guess one thing I could also show all of you about that I'm really excited about is in October is my trick or trade bundle. I have no idea what I'm going to pull out of here. I'm going to post a short for it every day of October. Might as well see what treats we're going to get. Mostly, I think we're going to get tricks, but it'll be fun. Be right back. I'm just going to grab some water. Torchic, watch this. Oh, come on. Hello, trainers. I'm back. Just wanted to grab some water. So sorry about that. Sorry about that. Talking a lot really just dehydrated me. Okay. Thank you for very much, Torchic. Welcome, new friends. Anything you want to talk on? I'm happy to answer. Oh, here we go. That's awesome. Hello, friends. I'm doing okay. How are you doing? This is a Q&A live stream. If you have anything you want to learn about here or talk about with my videos or anything, I'm going to be happy to answer any of your questions. You've done a lot of live streams yourself, Mr. Shiny Hunter, so I just thought I'd take a little inspiration from you. Sorry, I'm going to be drinking a lot of water. Talking a lot kind of takes me a lot out. Just normal water. How am I doing? I'm okay. How are you doing? How's your stream going? Hoping that you come back to make some more, what are they called? Some more shorts. I'm going to get back to making shorts next week. I'm so sorry about this whole week. It's been really wayward. Let's just say that some stuff going on with me is not as perfect as I'd want it to be, but I'm still just trying to make things work. Ugh. Last year was just a disaster. Okay, I'm happy to answer any more questions if anyone has it. I kind of want to keep going on with this. This has actually been a lot of fun. Anyone have anything that they want to discuss? I have plenty of stuff I can work with. Like I already said about why I have all this stuff in the background, kind of explained it. But in case you didn't hear, the reason I have inspired me the most to always have stuff in the background for what you're talking about is dead meat. If he was ever watching this, I'd say thank you very much, James A. Janice, for giving me the idea of why you should have background props because it gets you in the mood as well as makes people be like, oh, that's clever. All the stuff that you have in the background. What's this? Are you excited for the new game coming out next year? Oh, yeah. Pokemon Legends Z to A. I'm kind of mixed at the moment for Pokemon Legends Z to A, mainly for the fact that we've got no idea what's coming out with it. I mean, it's a good and kind of bad thing, though. I guess one reason I'm good with it is the fact that they are kind of keeping it a bit of a secret, so whatever comes out of it might be a lot of fun and might be worth the wait. The only problem I have with it is I really want to know at least a few things, even if it's just like a minor little detail. I just want to know, what's the game going to be about? Is it going to be the future or is it going to be the past? Also, I'm just kind of curious. Is Zygarde going to play a major role, or is it just going to somewhat stay there and then kind of come out the end, like very similar to that of Arceus? And I loved Legends Arceus. Believe me, I loved that game. Just that I kind of wish Arceus was there a little bit more than when he was at the beginning and towards the end. Oh, thank you, Mr. Shiny Hunter. Yeah, I can't even believe I made it to 2,000. I thought actually by the time I make it there, it would be like October or November, but here we are, end of September, and at 2,000 subscribers. Now my next goal is to go even higher. Maybe I can end the year with, what can I say? Maybe I can end the year with 2.5k. But hey, I'm just gonna try to get back on the saddle and keep going. Again, I'm really sorry for the delay with so many shorts and everything. It's just this has been a wayward month, and also I'm currently working on a brand new video for all of you. I'm really excited. We're going to go back to the spooky season. I'm working on a brand new intro for it. And I'm also really excited to do something in the future for two other games that are a lot of fun. Let's see if I can find the games. If I brought them with me over here, I probably did not. But what I am also looking forward to, if I can find them, I guess I should have brought them with me or something. Wrong one. I got the plushies. It's okay. But what I am actually looking the most forward to doing is we get the plushies of them. And this year, I did do it in retrospect, so I thought I'd do it again for 10 years later of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. This is something that I think is amazing to think that it's been 10 years since these games came out. I know that it also was 10 years, it's been 20 years since Fire Red and Leaf Green came out. It's just that I didn't realize that until a little bit too late. But trust me, in the future, I will make videos on them. I also just might make videos on Red and Blue in the future for the 30 years of Pokemon in retrospect. Oh, let's see. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Shiny Hunter. Sorry about the stuff that's kind of delayed me. Sorry about being delayed for a while with some videos. If anyone else has any questions, do you have any questions, Mr. Shiny Hunter? Because I'm happy to answer any for you. Puffy Sparkles? Alex? Hmm. Maybe I could ask this thing to you. For October coming up, what are you looking the most forward to in October? Are any of you going to make any fun Pokemon videos or any videos for October? I don't know. Anytime I love October because we get to do a lot of fun things like spooky videos, spooky season, and also it's fun to have some candy and watch people dress up. How many Pokemon plushies do you have? I don't know if you answered this earlier, but what's your favorite Pokemon? Oh, thank you. Welcome, awesome stuff show. To be honest, I actually don't know how many Pokemon plushies I have. But I will tell you this though. My goal right now is to get every single sitting cutie that there's ever been. We now are up to Gen 6. So until I get every single sitting cutie, I'm not gonna stop till I have every one of them in my possession. Maybe I might be crazy, but I love the sitting cutie so much, and I want to make so many videos for you. And what's my favorite Pokemon game? Huh. I actually think that my favorite Pokemon game might be Black and White 2. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Emerald for being my first ever game, but Black and White 2 just had so much more to it that I really enjoyed about it. I did like Black and White, but I just felt that Black and White 2 built even more on it. It just felt like it really did feel like a part 2. It really did feel like a continuation. And for the first ever, well, I guess you could somewhat call it the first ever sequel game, because technically this does build up to what happened there. It was kind of fun to see what happened next in the same region 2 years later. It was also fun to go back in, like, in the Johto games, go back to the Kanto region 3 years later and learn that Red's now a champion who's on top of Mount Silver, and Lance has also been promoted to champ. But I gotta say, I like that whole thing. Let's see. What's the funniest video you've ever made? I don't know, actually. I've made a lot of videos, but if it's, I'm trying to think of, like, what's the funniest video I've ever made. I guess the funniest video I ever made is an old one, being my Camerupt and Let's see, camera up video, my camera up and Numal video because those things are just really funny. If I could do anything better, I would try to do better with them. Let's see, which plushie is your favorite? Which one? Which is your favorite plushie, and which one have I been after for a long time? It's kind of hard for me to choose which one of my favorite plushies of all time. There's a lot of good ones. There is one line I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm happy to say it's in my possession. This would be my one little. There was one I was after for a very long time, and I'm happy to say it's now in my possession. And I'm going to give you a hint of when we're going to talk about it. Just give me a second to find it. Sorry, I'm just looking through my prop bag. See if I can find it. Oh boy. So sorry to dig through this whole thing. See if I can find him. If I can find that plushie. I should have put this one at the top. It's all the way at the bottom. I'm just going to put this down here for 1 second. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. Ouch. There it is. All right, here you go, everybody. Ready for a spoiler for what's going to come for the spooky season? This is the plushie I was after for a very long time, and I'm happy it's finally in my possession. Crobat. It's not my favorite Pokemon of all time, but this was one that I was hunting for a very long time. The fact that I finally got one, I'm really happy. This is also the Pokemon that really taught me how important friendship is. But yeah, I hope that a lot of you are really excited to see this Pokemon finally make an appearance. But if I am to say which Pokemon plushie I like the best, I really can't answer that one. I will say though that when Pokemon Center finally, oh, thank you, friend. Thanks for the support. I will say though that when I do get a lot more Gen 5 plushies, expect a lot more Gen 5 Pokemon videos. Sorry, it's just that a lot of people have kind of jumped at the opportunity as Gen 5 is debatably one of the best gens ever because of everything it gave us. Huh. I guess if I could get a plushie though, I would like to get I guess if you really help me get I guess this is one goal I've never really mentioned before, but I'm sorry if this sounds like kind of self-absorbed or anything. Oh, let's see. Well, of course, Puffy Sparkles. If you want a shout out and special thanks for the Zubat line, you can just ask and I'll give it to you. Anyway, what was I trying to say? What was I trying to say? I guess another line I'm also kind of looking forward to doing and I want to do more stuff with is bug type Pokemon. I was thinking about getting myself a bug type uniform from HTTP Koopa. He has one online. It's just I haven't had enough bug type Pokemon to work with yet, but I am going to think about doing that. If any of you like bug type Pokemon, I know bug type Pokemon are not the strongest out there, but sometimes they can be a lot of fun. Let's see what's the funniest video made. How many Pokemon do I own? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what other things I could talk about that could be good. Anyone else have any questions? Might be doing this for a while, actually. It's been fun, actually, doing this and answering a lot of questions as well as talking to so many people. Is there anything anyone wants to know about? It's like, is there anything like in the anime or anything that you want me to do for videos in the future? Any way I can improve? Let's see. Oh, it's good to know that someone else likes bug type Pokemon. If you make a request for this video, you can ask and I'll give you a special thanks and shout out. I always do that to my friends. If they want to have an idea that they want turned into a video, just do it. And of course I'll do it. I just, I'm just not sure what bug type line to talk on. I do have fun doing this though with all of you. I also just want to say thank you all for making this really feel amazing. It's just that I've always been kind of, I didn't really expect this to go anywhere. Okay. Will you do for a video about the TCG and show off your I don't have a collection to be honest. I usually just give my cards to other people. They sometimes just sit in the elite trainer boxes I have. I mean, I would sell them if they were worth a lot of money. It's just that I don't know how to play the Pokemon card trading card game. I want to learn though. It's just that no one's ever taught me. When I was a kid, I used to collect them all, but I lost those books a very long time ago. One of the first ever Pokemon cards I had in there was there, and sadly, I lost it. I didn't get into the whole Pokemon trading card game until Gen 4. One of the first cards I ever had was an Infernape, the original one from the I don't know if it's the starter set one, but that was like one of the one that does that had only 100 HP and did 90 damage. That was my first real card ever. I really like Infernape though. Not my favorite Sinnoh starter, but a pretty good one though, I will say. What do you see? What do you think though? Does anyone have any good memories of Pokemon TCG? I mean, if I ever could learn to be good and competitive at it, I think I would try to join and maybe go with Professor Palm to a regional thing or whatever at any of my card shops. I do go to a card shop once in a while to hang out with some friends and play some games, but it's just not perfect. Anything else anyone has a question about? Let me get some more water. Is there any bug type line anyone wants me to talk about or anything? Hmm. Maybe I could ask you guys some questions. What was the first game you? Who was the first starter Pokemon that you ever started off with? And was that journey fun with that starter Pokemon? Also, I was thinking, do you think I should next year maybe do videos of going live and playing some games? I was thinking about. Oh, oh, that's cool. Good for you. Yeah, full art cards are good. But do you think maybe next year I should go live and maybe stream some games? Like I was thinking about doing going Birdbound for Pokemon. Which game is it? Yeah, good job, William Leary. Yeah, nice to know. Charmander is a great Pokemon. I hope that your Charizard was really high and mighty. That's a great Pokemon. I I will admit though, I did not start off with Charmander when I played Fire Red and Leaf Green. I started with Squirtle. I just believe me, I love Charmander. I love all three of them. It's just that I was just kind of just like I said, I like Turtle Power. Probably Mudkip. Mudkip was too cute. Little. Oh, Mudkip. So I heard you like Mudkips. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist. It's okay if you don't if you get annoyed with this. I just want to be funny with that whole thing. Yeah, Mudkip's a really fun Pokemon. It also was you know what's really cool about it though is Mudkip is the first Mudkip gain. Yeah, nice Mudkip gain. What's also kind of cool about Mudkip is that did you know that it was the first water type starter Pokemon to actually have a dual typing? If you really think about it, this was the first starter line we ever had that finally got the dual typing for water because both Blastoise and sorry, what's it called? Blastoise and Feraligatr were both pure water type, and Swampert was now the first water and ground type. And also at the same time, this was the first water starter we ever had that was immune to electric type moves. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Thank you. Yeah, Trico's better. Trico. You mean this? Yeah. Sometimes the wood gecko can be pretty cute. I mean, let's be real. I mean, I think that all three of the starters are really good to have. My opinion, I think that Hoenn really had Shuckle sweeps. Well, train a Shuckle right, and yeah, it's going to sweep the competition away for you. I guess you could really slow some people down with it, but yeah, I do think that the Hoenn region had some really good starters. And in my opinion, I would also say that I honestly think that Hoenn was the start of when Pokemon was really starting to get good. I mean, this was the first game that did not have to do with my first year was a Charmander is a good Pokemon, Puppy Sparkles. I mean, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but I do think that the Hoenn region was good, and I do think that's when Gen 3 came out is when Pokemon really started getting on a good track. Of course, Gen 4 and Gen 5 got even better, but I actually don't know which of the original three of those three is the peak of Pokemon. Maybe it is Black and White or Black and White 2, but I don't know. Everything usually seems to go upwards. Don't get me wrong, I do like Pokemon in the 3D. I think it's fun, but I will admit though, there's just something about 3D that doesn't have the charm that the 2D era had. Maybe it's just because that there was just a little bit more of the 2D era that a lot of us grew up with. Maybe it's nostalgic value, or maybe it's just because the sprites that we had for those things, as well as the way they moved, just really felt right. I'm not going to say that everything's going to be perfect in 2D. Of course, 2D had its own problems that it couldn't do. Oh, thank you. I'm saying that 2D just feels a little more familiar to us. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if we're gonna stay in 3D for good, that's fine. It's just that I think 2D just was a little bit better because so many nostalgic memories were made there. Huh. You know what? If I actually could ask for something, I know Pokemon could never do this again, though. But if they ever could have brought anything over from Gen 5 to the next games, like to future games, I really wish that they would bring back. I know it's been like since Gen 6 had this, but if there was anything they could bring back, I really want them to bring Dive back. That was a really cool HM going underwater. Let's see. Go to McDonald's meal. I haven't been to McDonald's in a while, but I think my favorite thing from McDonald's might be the McDouble. It's not too much, but it always feels like enough for me. It's if you don't know, a McDouble is basically a cheeseburger and hamburger as one. It's really good. That's my favorite thing. Let's see. They actually tried to. Thank you. Thank you for the solid choice. I don't know. A lot of these Pokemon are good. Let's see. I just said what my McDonald's meal is. I think it's just the McDouble. That's a good one. I also would have to say though, when one was the first shiny Pokemon you ever caught? Oh, just give me a second. I have that one. I don't have a plushie with it, but the first shiny Pokemon I ever actually caught was Tentacool. Unfortunately, I have a really upsetting story to tell you all. The first shiny Pokemon I ever encountered was actually a Kyogre when I was younger. I thought my game was glitching when I saw a pink Kyogre, and I'm like, "Ah, my game's glitching." So I turned it off, and it wasn't until a week later I told my cousin about my game glitching. Said that was a shiny. I'm like, "What's a shiny?" To this day, shiny Kyogre will always be. It, if you ever read the book Moby Dick, it always is going to be the same to me. It's the whale that got away. If I ever see a shiny Kyogre again, I am catching it. And I'm just going to be honest though, I only prefer using normal Pokeballs, just normal red and white one. But if I ever did see a shiny Kyogre, that would be the only exception I'd use a Master Ball on because I am not having that thing get away from me twice. But yeah, the first shiny Pokemon that I ever did catch was a Tentacool. I know it's tragic. I'm really sorry. I was new at the game. I just didn't know what a shiny Pokemon was until way later on down the line. It really hurt. But I will say though, what was kind of cool also, the bonus was I caught a shiny Tentacle while actually fishing in Emerald. What was funny is I was trying to catch myself a Feebas because that was also a hard Pokemon. Instead, I got a shiny Tentacle, and then I got a Feebas. That was even cooler. Ah, man, Feebas is one of the most annoying Pokemon ever back in the day. If you didn't know this about Feebas, here's something that you might actually find crazy. Feebas is the Pokemon that. Yeah. Sorry, just thirsty. Here's the thing about Feebas back in the day. If you wanted to catch one, you had to get lucky. You had to catch a Feebas that in the Gen 3 games, if you wanted to catch a Feebas, you had to be lucky as it was in 6 tiles out of like over 400 on a route. Also, even if you caught a Feebas, you had to get also doubly lucky that it had a nature that had beauty as a high condition. Because if you wanted to evolve into Milotic, it needed to have a good beauty condition, and there were some that had beauty as the low condition where it really would not rise. So think about this. It already is hard to get a Feebas because it appears in only 6 spots. It's even harder to get a Milotic because only some Feebas will evolve into one. That is a crazy Pokemon. I said before I hate it when they change ways of evolution, but I do applaud the Prism scale because that would be a nightmare for future games. Yeah, sorry about you deleting your. Sorry about that awesome stuff show that you deleted your uh, game with a shiny in it. I did that before, unfortunately, once. It always hurt, but looking back, I guess there are other shiny. It does hurt, but looking back, I don't even remember what game it was which file it was that I had when I had a shiny. Don't even remember what game it was because I remember being like, "Oh right, I had a shiny in this one." Oh wait, now I remember. Now I remember it was Soul Silver. Oh, the Soul Silver shiny was kind of crazy and it was kind of the worst thing I got as a shiny if I think about it. I was trying to do new game and I wanted to choose a female Chikorita and instead I got a shiny Chikorita and it wasn't female. And now when I look back, I deleted that game with a shiny Chikorita. Every time I look back at that, that really, really hurt. But believe me, I know Chikorita may not be the best grass type starter, but it still was a pretty fun one. Man, I gotta say another thing that what's this thing? Do you have a favorite shiny variant? Yes, I actually do have a very favorite shiny Pokemon. I like the blackout shinies. I think that Pokemon like Greninja, Charizard, even Satitan look really good in black. But the one Pokemon that I've always loved as a shiny is Hawlucha. I actually own one in my Pokemon Y. I haven't used that Pokemon for a while. That was a Pokemon that I really thought, like, when I saw things as shiny, I'm like, I really want that on my team. And then one day I was randomly running through the grass in Pokemon Y and found a shiny Hawlucha. My goodness, I was so happy to finally have that thing on my team. We've had a lot of good shiny Pokemon, and we've had a lot of ones that aren't so great, but I do think shiny Hawlucha has really cool colors. I like to call that thing Light Bright. Funny enough, that's actually what I named that thing, Light Bright. Let's see. I got like 6 of them. Want one? Shiny Hawlucha. I'm good. I prefer to find shinies on my own because it feels a little more rewarding when you find shinies. It's nice to get one traded to you or someone randomly gives one to you, but I do think that finding one on your own is feels a little more rewarding. It's like I don't know, I'm trying to think. It's like trying to think of like a Pokemon that really did feel rewarding for me when I finally caught it. It's like Feebas. If someone trades you a Feebas, that's cool and all, but it feels a little more rewarding when you finally find your own Feebas. No one ever traded me a Feebas, but it definitely felt more rewarding. What's this thing? Oh, hello there. Oh, hello. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Rescue Squad Culp. Nice to meet you all. Ash's Cat Pikachu is the best shiny color. Ha! That's funny. Did you think it would have been funnier though if they actually gave if Ash's shiny Pikachu if they gave that thing a shiny if the cap also changed colors with the shinies? Hmm. I don't know. I'm just thinking if I could think about any other cool shiny Pokemon. I guess I guess Gyarados is a pretty cool one, being the first red shiny Pokemon. Did you actually know that the name shiny Pokemon actually was coined by fans? I'm guessing you did, but did you know it actually became official? Originally, they were called odd Pokemon, and they were actually supposed to be a little more common than very rare. But as time's going on, they decided they would make them like very rare, and people thought of the name shiny. So good on you, trainers, for making a fan term become an official term. Same thing happens to pseudo legendary as well as evolution. Well, not pseudo legendary, but I hope that does happen in the future. Is there a fan term that you think that should become real as time goes on? People are leaving, unfortunately. Huh. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like anything else that also would be a very good Pokemon thing to talk on. Hmm. I might go live for a little bit longer, maybe 2 hours. I'm almost hitting my first hour mark. This is probably my longest video I've ever made. But it's nice to have a good audience here today and hear what lots of people have to say. Let's see. Is there a Pokemon that you wished wasn't shiny locked? Other than the starters and the legendaries, is there a Pokemon that you've been after that's nice and shiny, but it's always been hard for you to get? I'm okay that some of the starter Pokemon nowadays are shiny. But you know what would be like really, really bad luck? Imagine this. This has never happened before. I don't think that there's a documented case, but imagine this about how annoying this could be. Imagine that Wally from Gen 3 finds a shiny Ralts and then he sends out a shiny Zigzagoon. Wouldn't that be so annoying that it's two uncatchable shinies you have to watch? That would be like the most insane thing ever. I don't know if there was a programming in the thing that prevents that from happening, but if there wasn't, geez, that would be so annoying. Imagine if that same thing happened to you as well, that you encountered a shiny Poochyena and you sent out a shiny or Zigzagoon in the game, and you encountered and the Pokemon you sent out was a shiny starter. That would be like so annoying yet so cool at the same time because that would be probably the rarest event you would ever see happen. I wish shiny Lux didn't exist. Period. Yeah, Gimme Ghoul is a Pokemon that's pretty hard. Nice, a shiny Beldum. That's a good Pokemon. Beldum actually is a very Beldum is actually a very strange line, I got to admit, though. Mainly for the fact that one second. Mainly for the fact that when it comes to, did you actually know that Beldum is the first pseudo legendary Pokemon that? Well, sorry, Metagross is the first pseudo legendary Pokemon introduced in a region that cannot be obtained. Not even that cannot be obtained. What I mean is that if you think about it, back in the day, you could not find Beldum, Metang, or Metagross in the wild. You only got one in the game. I guess you could make the same debate about Larvitar and Larvitar and Pupitar, as they can only be found in Mount Silver in post game after you get all the badges. The only thing there is that you can find them in the wild. You can't find Beldum anywhere in the Hoenn region. In fact, what's crazier enough is that you couldn't find any of them in the game until the Sinnoh region. Kind of crazy, wouldn't you think? See, the hardest thing for me was probably getting. That's a really cool idea, dog team. I applaud you on that dog team, Puffy Sparkles. I think maybe you know what? Maybe if they had, I kind of wish that they made that more of a possibility in some games where getting a lot of dog Pokemon was possible. I like to go bird bound where I catch bird Pokemon only, and I've done that in several games and actually beaten it. I'd say the one game that really made it the most fun for me was probably Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But I also would say that I think that the Kalos region was also pretty good to go birdbound. There's so many there. I'm also trying to go birdbound in what game is it? In Scarlet. I think maybe next year I'll do a video on that. Hopefully we get some hopefully I can learn how to get the right tech for that thing and you can all follow me while I go birdbound in that game. Be fun to go birdbound for a Paldea adventure. There's a lot there. Of course I have to start off with Quaxley, but I'm okay with that. I like Quaxley. Anyone else start off with Quaxley? If you are, welcome to the Quack Pack. You know what, actually, I would say, though, if I was to think of anything that I'd want to see in the future? We've had a grass ghost type starter. We've had a fire ghost starter. I want to see a water ghost final stage starter Pokemon. I have no idea what we could get for Generation 10, but it would be cool if we got a water ghost type starter, final stage starter. hmm. Is there You know what also would be a really fun typing? Does anyone have any ideas of what we could do for anything else for the 10th generation? All I know is that I want Generation 10 to come out in 2026 because I want it to be the 30 years of Pokemon. If we did get a generation in 2026, what do you think would be the best region to get it on? Oh, what's my favorite ghost type Pokemon? Easy. He might be in here. My Oh, thanks for asking. It's Sableye. Sableye is my favorite ghost type Pokemon. Not just because it had the whole cool ghost and dark type, making it pretty invincible at the time, but I also like the fact that it had the three gems on the back: the ruby, the sapphire, and the emerald. It actually was a pretty cool touch to show that emerald was going to come down the line. I also just think it's a really cool Pokemon, being like a gemstone ghost. I'm actually really happy it also got a Mega Evolution because I really can't see this thing getting an evolution or even a pre-evolution. I don't know. Maybe in the future they might make one. That's this one here. It's not available in the Hoenn region. Yeah. You can only get one from Steven, and that's in post game. He gives it to you for free. You can't catch it anywhere in the original Hoenn games. Maybe you can in the remakes, but the only Beldum that you get is by Steven as a gift Pokemon at his house in Mossy City. He leaves it for you, and if you did not acquire Dot, a really cool thing, Easter egg though, is that if you did not acquire Dive, instead, like going into his house, and you just used another Pokemon that had the move Dive, he'll have the HM Dive available for you in post game as well, so you can't get stuck in it. I think that's a really cool idea. That what if you accidentally could never use Dive again? They'd have a failsafe for making sure Dive was always available. I liked it in some games where they always had that little method. They had a failsafe. I wish there were more games that did that sort of thing. Did you know that Black and White had a failsafe in it? If all your boxes were full because you didn't want to have Reshiram or Zekrom added to your team, and you caught it, but there was nowhere to put it, it would be back at Dragon Spiral Tower in post game where you could go find it and catch it again. I think that was a really cool thing. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like other things that they could have done. I mean, as annoying as it is that we have to wait for 2025 for Legend Z to A, I'm kind of okay with that because I think I would rather just wait around and see what Pokemon's going to do instead of just them forcing out another game every year. It's nice that they're taking a break and doing more things. I don't know, just sometimes waiting around for what could be happening in the future can be good. I don't know. It's just when I think about a lot of things, I just really wish there were other things that Pokemon could be doing. Like, I just wish that they made some more content this year that could come out. I mean, I'm happy we got some TCG stuff, but I'm kind of sad we haven't really gotten any live streams or anything other than that since Pokemon Day 2024. Maybe they're just saving a lot of stuff for the 30 years of Pokemon. If that's the case, it makes me even more pumped for 2026. If they were to make a Pokemon movie again, do you think that we should? Would you see a sequel to Detective Pikachu if they made another one? I know I'd be happy to see another Detective Pikachu sequel. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I know that one. Yes, I remember that one. Did you, Mr. Shiny Hunter? I do remember that one being the if you try to teleport there or soft lock the game in Seamwood City, then they would do that. Did you know that they did the same? They also prevented you from getting stuck on Cinnabar Island in. They also did the exact same thing to you to prevent you from getting stuck on Cinnabar Island in. What's the game called? From getting stuck on Cinnabar Island in. Where's that game called? They prevented you from getting stuck on Cinnabar Island in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That if you visit Cinnabar Island's Pokemon Center and you faint or you faint while and that was the last place you visited, you fainted or you try to teleport back, it will not have that happen. Which was a good idea. What's this one? African. Yes, yes, Puppy Sparkles. A region based on Africa would be awesome. I have a great name for a villainous team. Call them Team Snare. They could be a group of poachers. But here's an even cooler idea. What if we also got to see other Pokemon that were based on like very well known African animals as starters? It'd also be great to see Pyroar and Litleo come back. Also, it'd be good to see Blitzel and Zebstrika back. We have not had them in a regional Pokedex for a while. But most of all, what would be great to see return are the three elemental monkeys. I cannot even believe that it's been since Gen 6, since Pansage, Panpour, and Pansear, we've been unable to catch them. And in a region, the DLC, sorry, at Blueberry Academy, a region that is in Unova, how did they not bring them back for the Switch? That's just insane to think that that's one line that's been absent from any Switch game. Giraffe starter, yes. Be great to have a giraffe starter. Grass type, you think? Or would you say fire? I don't know if I could see a water type giraffe starter Pokemon. I know I could definitely see a fire type elephant starter. How about the name Elaflame? Oh, here's a good name for its final stage evolution. Here's a cool name for a final stage elephant starter signature move: Scorching Stampede. What do you think? Yeah. Sorry, just thirsty. It would be great to go to Africa. I've always the idea I've always had if they could do a what's it called? What's it called? If they could do another region based on any place, I think the one region I'd want to see them do is Australia. I will admit though, I like Australia because I just always like the idea of doing so. Huh. Yes, an elephant would be sick. Elaflame. It's mine. Patented. Professor Palm patented it. Sorry, I just want to be funny. I don't know what we could call the rest of its line, but I do have an old picture of one I made a long time ago. But yeah, that could also work. Ooh, a water type based on a leopard or cheetah. That's cool. Though I kind of would like to see a dog water type starter. Only because we've never had a dog Pokemon that is water typing. I don't know. I just really want to see a dog Pokemon with the water typing on it. Water Pokemon based on a leopard or cheetah. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. I don't know what we'd call that. I guess if I could think of anything else, yes, an African dog would be good. Hey, if we got a region based off of what's that move? Australia, we should have a healer, just like a blue healer. Yes, I'm making a Bluey reference. I love Bluey. Anyone else like Bluey? I gotta admit, I do really like Bluey. I do think it's a very cute show. Whether or not you like it or you don't like it, you can't deny it's actually a pretty adorable series. South America. Yeah, South America would be great. Mexico. Mexico would be a great region to do something in. I know it's not South America, but I think it'd be fun to go to a region based on Mexico. Hmm. But yeah, South America region would be fun. Maybe Brazil, Rio. I don't know. Ecuador. There's plenty of places you could decide on in South America. I guess if I was playing as a girl in the South America region, I'd call myself Mirabelle. Yes, Mirabelle Madrigal from Encanto. I guess I never told all of you before. I'm a Disney fan. No, Scarlet and Violet was actually based on Spain and Portugal. I wish I could say yes that it was a region based on Mexico, but no, it's based on Span. It's based on Spain. The main city you're in is supposed to be based on Barcelona. The I forgot what that city is, but the one with the school and it's supposed to be based on Barcelona. I also think Italy would be a really cool. I think Italy also would have been a really cool region to have. I would love to see gondola battles. I enjoyed the whole subway battle in Unova, but it'd be really fun to do something in Venice and have an area with a lot of water and be a gondola battle thing. I don't know. Be kind of fun to fight on a boat. Oh, that's kind of cool. The farther you go, the colder it gets. I also think this is gonna sound kind of weird, but if we had a region based on Africa, I want there to be an area where Egypt is. That would be a great place to have an Egyptian evolution. Maybe a rock type one that maybe it holds the item, the Pharaoh's crown, or you have to give it something like that, and then it evolves Eevee into uh, rock type one. Rock type because of pyramids being made of stone. Pasta cat. I mean, we already have a bread. We already have a sweet bread dog. I don't see why that. I also got to say though, the more I look back at a lot of things, I'm actually surprised we didn't get a churro dog, but we could get churros in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let's see. Yes, the Mexico would be good, and a DLC for the Amazon region would be great. It's like when I think of regions that could have had a DLC. You know what I think actually was robbed of one. I think that Pokemon Legends Arceus was robbed of a DLC. This is what I think would have been really cool. Instead of catching Heatran in like near Fire Spit Island, I think what would have been cooler is if it came in a DLC that was Journey to Stark Island and go to the place that would eventually become Battle Frontier as well as Stark Mountain. We also could have probably found a lot of other cool Pokemon there, and maybe we could have even gotten a legendary Pokemon that was long forgotten to time there. Also, would have been kind of fun is we could have even had something else happen on that place. I get it that this was a game that was kind of something different than was a DLC was not really in the works for it, but that, in my opinion, feels robbed. Stark Island sounds awesome. I mean, what do you think? Let's see. We have a bread dog. We could get a pasta cat. Can't help but laugh about the idea. Pasta cat would be cool if we got a Pokemon. Nah, just make me think of a convergent Pokemon. Be the Sinistea and the Poltegeist line, but a bowl of pasta. Be funny though. I guess if we did have a region based on Italy, you'd be making your own pasta to, make your Pokemon more friendly or make friendships with other Pokemon. The sandwiches was pretty fun to do though. I enjoyed also the curry thing was a lot of fun. I don't know. I just kind of wish that there was more things that we could actually do with our Pokemon. I will admit though, I do think it's kind of crazy to think that it took till Gen 7 till anybody ever got to see the character eat something on screen. I mean, yeah, yeah, we could eat our own that some characters would eat stuff. Oh, what's this thing? Oh, okay. Take care, Mr. Shiny Hunter. Good to see you, bro. Huh. I will say though that when I do think about other regions that could be good ones, I'm also thinking of like Nordic regions, like maybe someplace based off of. Yeah, Curry would have been great in Scarlet and Violet. But here's my thing about Nordic regions. I think that Nordic regions would be really cool and would introduce so many places. Not like Norway, but I'm trying to think of like something like Iceland, or, places that had a lot of things with Vikings. I think what would be really cool is if we got to meet regional variants of dragons. Like, imagine this: the Dragonite line is dark and dragon. The reason it's dark is Dragonite in that region was hunted into extinction, or was hunted so much that it ditched its cute disposition for a very vicious one, where it becomes a Pokemon that would attack, drown, and sink other ships. Dragonite already lives under the water, so imagine how scary it would be for so many Vikings that a Dragonite could come up and capsize the boat, getting rid of all those things that are hunting them. Believe me, I like Dragonite and all, but it would be really cool to see a more vicious one. Kind of like Iris's Dragonite. Of course, Iris's Dragonite isn't the most vicious Pokemon that you'll ever is pretty powerful, so I kind of would like to see more. I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think of like other dragon type Pokemon that'd be cool. Trying to think of like another thing. If I actually am to think about stuff that I've always had a little bit of a pet peeve about with Pokemon, there's one line that's always been like annoying to. There's always been one thing that I've never really forgiven Pokemon for over the years, and it happened recently. It's Sword and Shield. We're in a region based off England and Scotland. How in the name of Arceus did we not get Lillipup, Stoutland, Herdier, as well as Snubble and Gramble in the normal game? How in the name of Arceus were they DLC Pokemon? That would be like making a region based off of Africa and not having the Pyroar line. That's insane to me. That's just insane that you have like the perfect Pokemon to put in there. I mean, I trust me, they're not forgotten as they've appeared in many other games, thankfully. But if I was to look at a line that I feel is the most forgotten, I actually might say it's the Purugly and Glameow line. Hear me out. If you remember them, that's good, but the reason to me why they're the most left out Pokemon is the only game that they could have been caught in at the time before Legends Arceus was Pokemon Pearl. After that, no more. You could not find them in any other game. And what's even crazier to think about that is it took 16 years for them to finally come back and say we can be available again. Like, wow. I mean, there's always that one line that's introduced in one region that's forgotten and never comes back, but think about it from this point of view. The what Pokemon was, their counterpart, which was supposed to be Stunky and Skuntank, could be caught in so many other games and still is. Other than which one is it? Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Stunky is one of the few Pokemon that's been available for every game. Desert. It would be really cool, though. Yeah, I see what you mean. Puffy Sparkles having different variations for the Appleton line. Well, Applin line. I mean, it is kind of cool to see it. It was kind of nice to actually see that we got another one with Diplin and Hydrapple. I guess I would like. I guess I would be kind of interested to see what other Pokemon are introduced for future regions, like if from other ones. Like I'm happy that Gen 9 introduced some new evolutions for us, like for Rigoraph, and we got the Dunsparce. I don't know. I mean, getting new evolutions down the line is good. If there was one Gen 9 Pokemon introduced that I really want to see more of their story to, surprise. Sorry about that. Surprisingly, it's Veluza. It's a weird thing, but I just like. I just feel that there's more to learn about with Veluza. Maybe there's a baby side to it. Maybe there's even another evolution of Veluza. I don't know. It's a random Pokemon, but it left an impact on me with how fast it could be. Huh, if I could use a desert-based Pokemon, if you could use a desert-based Pokemon of the game, which would it be? Of course, for me, Flygon, by far. But if I guess I had to use three Pokemon that came from the desert, I think the three Pokemon that I would happily use on any of my teams would be Flygon. It would be, let's see, Flygon, Cacnea, sorry, Cacturn, and what's that other Pokemon name? Ugh, trying to think of another good Pokemon that lived there. There's a lot of Pokemon who live in the desert, but definitely Flygon would be the Pokemon that'd be my go-to for the desert. How about you? Anyone else have any questions? Anyone? I just think that Flygon just might be my favorite Dragon type Pokemon that's ever been introduced. I know it shares the same typing with both, what are their names? With both, sorry, with the Garchomp line. Sorry, it was on the tip of my tongue. It's a good typing though, but this is kind of cool. Is that the Garchomp line and Flygon and Vibrava are currently the only Dragon type Pokemon with the times 4 weakness to Ice that are not flying. You want to hear something really cool? Want to hear something really cool? Did you know that Dragon, Dragon and Flying, as well as Dragon and Ground, are the only Pokemon that can actually have a times 8 weakness to Ice type moves? The reason why is if you use the move Force Curse on, let's look, like if you use the move Force Curse on Dragonite, or you use it on Garchomp, and then go with an Ice type move, that'll be times 8 super effective because Force Curse adds the triple typing of Grass type to it. So there you go, a times 8 weak Pokemon. Crazy, right? Did you also know that there is? Okay. Oh, desert-based Pokemon. Oh, I thought it said desert. Oh, I'm so silly. You said desert-based Pokemon. I thought you said desert-based Pokemon. Well, I would love to see them make a cannoli Pokemon. I don't know. I love cannoli. We have an ice cream Pokemon. We have a cake Pokemon. We have one based off of tea, and then we have one based off of chai, or I guess the dessert. I really want to see a cannoli Pokemon, or even a. We also have like a pie dragon, like an apple strudel pie or something. I don't know. I just cannoli seems like pretty a cute idea. Would it also be cute if we got a rice Pokemon? I don't know. It just seems cute. But here's another thing that's crazy. There's actually one Pokemon out there. If I guess I could say this thing though. Actually, it's similar to what I'm saying, but if I had to think about what I think is the worst type combo, it's got to be bug and grass. I'm looking at you, Paris and Parasect, along with Paris and Parasect in Gen 1. You may not know this, but in Gen 1, poison type moves were super effective on bug type Pokemon, which very happily changed as the region went on. But think from this point of view, that was the only Pokemon that had 3 times 4 weaknesses. Its grass and bug type is already weak to fire for its first times 4 weakness. Flying takes the second one, and poison because bug and grass are both weak to poison type in that thing. Like, wow. I'm glad that that finally is no longer a thing. Also, if you really think that, I mean, I really think Paris and Parasect are the most kicked around Pokemon. I don't hate them or anything. It's just that I feel awful for them because they already have 2 times 4 weaknesses with with fire and flying. But what really makes me feel the worst for them is that they have the ability dry skin. You already made them weak to fire. You just gave them like an even more terrible weakness. So basically, if you had the item, the focus band on it, and you managed to survive it, you'd still take extra damage because of the ability dry skin. I guess the only way that you could really make this thing better is if you maybe used terastallized it into something better. On the bright side, though, when it rains or when it does, let's see. On the bright side, when it rains or if it's hit with a water type move, it does gain HP back, which isn't too bad. But it really does make me feel bad that you would actually have to kick around some Pokemon. It was your favorite regional variant. Oh, that's a nice one. What's my favorite regional variant Pokemon? Hmm. That's a good question. I'm just gonna look around. I actually think it might be Zoroark. I love Zoroark, and I just think that thing looks so cool. I also like that it's known as the Baneful Fox Pokemon. That thing has just like always been like, oh yeah. Having one of those things on my side was amazing. That thing would just hack and slash everything to pieces. Trust me, being on that thing is like looking at a ghost. I actually have a cool theory on that though, if anyone ever heard this before, but in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, as well as the remakes, on your way to Snowpoint City, there's a woman that you walk into her room. Sorry, her what's that place called? Her house, and she says to you, "Oh, a person! What a rare sight! Thank you for visiting me. Let me give you something." She gives you the item, the Cleanse Tag, which or spell tag, which boosts Ghost type moves. And then when you enter the room, she's gone. But here's my theory: what if instead of being, I made this as a short before, but I just want to say, what if she's not just a ghost type Pokemon? What if she's the last living Hisuian Zoroark and we just never realized it until Legends Arceus? If that's the case, or if that was actually true, that means that this has been here the whole time and no one actually realized that Zoroark was in front of us. And before you say, but Zoroark can't talk, yes, it can. There's been plenty of times in the anime where Zoroark, when under disguise, learns how to speak. It's Zorua who has a problem sometimes with the speaking, except for the movie Zoroark Master of Illusions, which is also a great movie. Every time I think about Zorua's laugh, it just makes me smile. Let's see. How about you? Who's your favorite regional variant Pokemon, Puffy Sparkles? Or any of you? If any of you have a favorite regional variant Pokemon, I'm happy to know. I just think that Ghost and Normal is a really as a really deadly typing combo, especially seeing how they can do so many things. What's another scary Pokemon I can think of? Huh. I mean, I guess another Pokemon. It's technically not a regional variant Pokemon, but I will admit though, I do like Obstagoon. I think that is a pretty cool one. So I'm just trying to think about like what other regional variant Pokemon that we were introduced to. If I was to say what I think my least favorite regional variant Pokemon introduced to was, I don't think I really like the Alolan Geodude line. Nothing against them. It's just I don't think that the electric typing looks so great on them. Oh, the Goodra variant. Oh yeah, that forgot about that one. The Hisuian Goodra. That's also a cool one. Cool fact though about Hisuian Goodra. Goodra is already a very friendly dragon. Hisuian Goodra is just even more friendly. This thing cherishes any friendship it makes to a point where if you were going to leave it, it would follow you no matter where you went. And if something was going to attack you, it would take the hit for you, being like, "No, don't hurt my friend." It's good to know that we have such good loyal Pokemon like that on our side. Hisuian Goodra is a good one. I would like to see another regional variant of a pseudo legendary Pokemon. If we got one, though, I'd have to make another short with something like that included in there. I wonder how Goodra lost the steel typing over time. You know, I've actually kind of been thinking about something kind of funny about that, though. If uh, if you think about Hisuian Decidueye being a grass fighting type, while the future one in Alola is Grass Ghost. Does that mean Decidueye died over time? And the same thing goes with what's its name? Hisuian Typhlosion. It's a fire ghost type. Does that mean that Typhlosion has been resurrected? Another star Pokemon. Maybe we might for Pokemon Legends Arceus. No, sorry, Pokemon Legends Z to A. Maybe we just might see more regional variant final stage starter Pokemon. I don't know. I mean, maybe anything that we could get out of that would be probably fun. I'm just trying to think of like what could be a good regional Pokemon. I guess I would like to see a regional variant of Blaziken. I remember they made what they had a fan idea of that in that Pokemon Legends Celebi game, which would be really cool in my opinion. If they could make one, it would be fun to have on our side. Fire electric type. That's a really cool typing. Currently, only what's his name? Rotom in his Heat Rotom form has that one. But I would love to see more another fire electric type. That seems like a really cool combo. Huh. I also could think about another regional variant Pokemon. What's another one that could also be pretty good? So I'm just trying to think of like another one that would be pretty good. Braviary was fun. Hisu regional variant of Mandibuzz would be pretty cool to see. I just wish that the one Pokemon I've wanted to see a regional variant with for a very long time has to be Poochyena and Mightyena. I think that that would have been really good for the Paldea region. Not just because Zigzagoon got one, but there actually are a lot of wolves and there actually are a lot of hyenas and wild dogs like that all the way in Spain. So it would have been really fun to have seen a regional variant of Poochyena, or even a convergent species. That's another thing that Gen 9 came up with that I really liked. Convergent species. Like Toad Scroll and Tentacruel. Sorry, Toad's Cool and Toad Scroll, as well as Wiglet and Wigtrio. I also like that they did that for the DLC. I wish we got more. I get it, it was like a new idea and they wanted to try something small out, but I actually thought it was pretty cool. I just didn't really enjoy the Terastal phenomenon, though. I do hope that whatever Gen 10 makes is pretty good. But would it be really cool if you got all the phenomenons for Gen 10 that you could actually choose what you want to do? You could Gigantamax, you could Gigantamax, you could Mega Evolve, you could use a Z move, or you could Terastalize. You can only use one, but it'd be pretty fun to have that whole thing that could happen. Mhm. Be really fun to actually do something like that. I guess if I was to look at other Pokemon that I also would like to see other species of, I kind of would like to see regional variants of other fossil Pokemon. It's gonna sound weird, but I know fossil Pokemon went extinct, and that's possibly never gonna happen. But it would be kind of cool to see a more reptilian-looking Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is my favorite fossil Pokemon, by the way. Hmm. Just trying to think of what other things I could work about. Do you think that maybe we could get a? Do you think it would be cool if we got regional variants of evolutions? Like in one region, all three of the evolutions have a different appearance and a dual typing. Like imagine if you evolve an you evolve a Vaporeon in one region and now it's a water ice type. That'd be pretty cool. And what's called Jolteon then becomes a electric ground type, and then and then maybe we get ourselves a a psychic fire typing for Espeon, Espeon, Flareon. I don't know. What do you think? That sound like a cool idea? Giving evolutions regional variants? Could be that the stones there just unlock more potential to them. I don't know. I mean, I'm just a Pokemon professor. I'm not a Pokemon theorist. Maybe I should become a Pokemon theorist in the future. Oh, grass water. A grass water Vaporeon wouldn't be a bad idea. That seems like a cool idea. Maybe you have to get it. Maybe it's because it's in a region where there's a lot of swamp or something right there. I actually got to admit though, the swamps are kind of a cool area because there's a lot of really cool ground type Pokemon there, especially with our muddy buddies like Mudkip. The worst thing I gotta say though is I do feel that some areas of Pokemon that are really fun just usually never get enough time to shine. Like the desert. I really like the desert in so many of the games. I'm just kind of surprised we've only had like one region so far that had a town set in one. And it is, I could somewhat Alfrenada. I guess you could also say the other one that has the water type gym leader. But what I mean is like Lamentius Town from Black and White 2. That's a cool region and all. I mean, that's a cool town, but I kind of wish that there was more to the story with something going on in a desert town. Be kind of fun to. It'd also be kind of fun if we got a region based on Mexico to actually have a town that is set in the desert there. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that the Pokemon could do in the future. Pacific Town has always been a standout town to me because it's that one place that is completely on the water, showing just how much of the region is a water thing. You know, it's actually kind of crazy to think about in in all the Hoenn games. After Lily Cove City, basically every other route in the game that you go to is just a water route. That's the last time you were pretty much on land for a normal route because the next thing you go to is the city. Next is Moss Deep City, which is a big island. Same thing with Sutopolis City. That's it. Yeah, you go to the Evergrande City next, but that's kind of it at that point. There's no more routes that have to do with anything that have grass on them anymore. Really does show how much water there is in the region. Maybe Team Magma wasn't as bad as we thought. Maybe they were trying to actually do something better and make more land. I mean, Team Aqua, it's like you're already in the Hoenn region. Do we really need more? Imagine if they came to the Alola region and be like, nah, Alola's good. I gotta admit though, I kind of did like that thing about the Alola region, how there were like four different islands that you could go on. It was kind of cool though. I mean, I will say though, it definitely was probably the most watery region we've ever been to, but it was fun. What's this thing right here? Oh, opposite variants. That's actually a cool idea. I guess we somewhat have had. Let me think. I guess we somewhat had that with the Meowth variant in Galar being Steel type, which is something that normal type moves are not super effective on. But that's a cool idea. I kind of like that we've actually had a few Meowth variants over the times. Huh. We sort. Oh wait, no, that's the opposite. Huh. I don't know. I guess some other thing, if I could complain about, I mean, it is kind of cool to think about that. A Pokemon's water type is turned into electric type or a grass type. That's a cool idea, Puppy Sparkles. I guess if I had to think about something that was a little different from something that could have been normal, like imagine if we had a Gengar regional variant line that was dark type. That would be cool. We can't do. We cannot do. What's it called? Ghost type line because they're already ghost type. I don't know. It's interesting to think if we had something like that. You know what's actually kind of sad to think about with the Sinnoh region? A lot of us love the Sinnoh region, but at the same time, we have no variants from the Sinnoh region. Like, think about it. I would like to say I'd say that Sneasler is a variant of Weavile, but it's not. It's still Weavile. It's just a completely different evolution. Huh. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess you could somewhat say that a bit about Hisui and Sneasler. Sorry, Sneasel, because it's a poison. It's a fighting poison type, and Sneasel's already a dark and ice type, which is times 4 weak to ice type moves. I guess if you look at it that kind of way, I don't know. Does that somewhat count? I don't know. Huh. Do you think that we need more? Do you think it'd be cool if we got more starter Pokemon that could be found in the wild, or is it better that we just have them only at the start of the game? Does anyone else have any questions? I'm happy to answer as many as I can for all of you. Don't feel afraid. Just ask whatever you want. I'm happy to talk to as many of you as I can. This is actually kind of fun. Maybe I should do this again sometime soon. Not done yet. I mean, I'll be done soon, but just not yet. I don't know. I mean, I kind of guess I would like to see some Pokemon that are like I said about the Dragonite line earlier. I kind of like the idea of seeing some Pokemon that are seen as like the most kind-hearted, loving creatures out there become vicious monsters. It's weird, but I don't know. I just kind of like seeing like a whole 180 of something going that way. It's kind of a little bit like Mega Evolution that there are some Pokemon that are really nice in their normal form, then become like very violent in Mega Evolution, like Lucario. Lucario is a Pokemon that fights for justice, and then at that point, then when it Mega Evolves, it becomes heartless. Kind of interesting. So that's why I try not to evolve my Mega Lucario. Mega Evolve my Lucario. Was this anything new? Huh. I guess another Pokemon I think that also has a cool. I guess another Pokemon I think that also has a pretty cool thing to it going when I look at them is what's that Pokemon called? I guess a Pokemon that has something kind of cool to it is Shed Ninja. It's not talked about a lot, but it's kind of cool to think that this is a Pokemon that has so many immunities and has a signature ability that also helps it to a point that only one move can really hurt it. It's kind of cool to think of that Shed Ninja can only be hurt by the move Fire Fang if you give the Wonder Guard ability to Sableye or what's his name? Sableye or Spiritomb. Spiritomb already is a pretty tough Pokemon to get. Is there any Pokemon out there that anyone else thinks was hard to get? I think Gimmighoul was a really hard Pokemon to get. Sorry, Goldango was such a hard Pokemon to get, but in the end, it felt so worth it, especially having that Pokemon good as gold on your side. Gimmighoul. Geez, getting those coins was not easy. You had to be really lucky to find yourself something that had that many coins. Like it was like a random 1% chance that you could actually find a Pokemon who with the it was a very rare chance that you could actually find a Gimmighoul that would give you more than like 5 coins, more than 1 or 5 coins. If you got lucky with that, I one time got one that actually gave me 100 coins. That was crazy. Huh. Trying to think of anything else I could do. Eevee's a good Pokemon. Is there any ideas that I should do for future videos? Like, is there anyone that has an idea for any more future videos of anything you want to see me do down the line? I'm happy to hear anything from all of you. If you have any other questions you want to know, I'm happy to answer them. It's okay. I think I'll be ending my stream very soon, though. This has been a lot of fun, though. Do you think I should do this again? Think I should make another one of these live streams down the line? Maybe if I hit 2.5K? What do you think? Originally, I was just doing do this for 18K, but you guys helped me get to 2,000, so thank you so much for this. I'm glad that I had such a great audience here today. I think I'm gonna end this in about like 15 minutes or so. Just want to do it like till like 8 o'clock. If you have any questions, just let me know, or I could just end this early. I guess like another thing I could say that I also find crazy about some Pokemon is that I think that there were a lot of other. I think there's a lot of other things that we could find down the line that could really help us out. One thing I know that I want to see back for Gen 10 is another Dark type gym leader. I can't believe that it took till Gen 8 for us to get our first Dark type gym leader. All other Dark type experts, excluding Nanu, were all Elite Four members. Cool fact though about that though is that Acerola stepped in to be Kahuna, sorry, to be an Elite Four member because Nanu refused. He didn't want to be one. That's the backstory of why he's not an Elite Four member. But yeah, would have been kind of cool if that happened. Is every second game? No, no, no. That's not a tradition. Is there any traditions anyone's ever picked up on in some Pokemon that you think it's annoying when they break them? There's actually a really cool tradition that was broken in Gen 9. Did you know that every elite odd elite four odd elite four always has introduced a ghost type specialist? We had Agatha in Gen 1, Phoebe in Gen 3, Chantal in Gen 5, Gen 7, Acerola in Gen 7, and Rhyme being the only ghost type gym leader broke that tradition. She also broke another cool tradition. She's the only ghost type gym leader to date to not use a Gengar or any member of the Gengar line for her teams. Morty, Fontina, and Alistair all used Gengar, but Fontina used a Haunter in her gym battle for Platinum because I think it's fair enough because using a Gengar would be a little too hard for a what's it called, third gym leader. I mean, it makes sense Morty would use one because it can evolve 3 times and it can evolve at any level you want after 22. I don't know. I'm just when I look back at a lot of gym leaders, I think a lot of them could have done stuff better. I don't know. It felt so weird. Speak to your yeah. It was kind of weird. I liked it better when the rival would pick a starter Pokemon that had the advantage over yours. I don't know why they decided to be so merciful to you. I liked it better when it was like no mercy. I'm choosing something that's stronger than you. You got to find something that'll take me down. You know, I love the Sinnoh region and all. I think it's a great region, but I think I finally found something that's a problem with it that a lot of people have somewhat overlooked at. And it has to do with why everyone's teams are usually the same. Because we know how it goes. When you choose I might make a video on this down the line, but when you choose a starter Pokemon, usually it also depends on what other one you're going to get. Like if you chose Turtwig, you know that you're going to have to get yourself there's a high chance that you're going to catch yourself a Rapidash and a Weasel down the line. If you choose Chimchar, high chance you'll have yourself a Badu, which you'll have as a Roserade in the end, as well as Floatzel at the end. And of course, if you chose Empoleon, you'll have Rapidash and Roserade by your team 99% of the time. I'm just saying, the reason why I think so many people have the same team is because if you think about it, Sinnoh focused more on introducing more evolution than it really did of introducing new Pokemon. It introduced a lot, don't get me wrong. There's lots of new Pokemon that were introduced, but a lot of the Pokedex that was introduced for this is new evolutions that some could not be obtained in. What I mean by that is some of them you needed to wait till Platinum to get, as you could not get. Like, let's say you had a Magby on your team and you wanted to get yourself a Magmortar. You couldn't do that until after post game when you get yourself the Magmarizer. And the same thing goes with not every evolution that was introduced came that way, but there was a lot that did that. Also, this was a region that introduced the stone that helped 2 Pokemon evolve, yet in one game it's a completely worthless item. In Platinum, if you get the Dusk Stone, it's kind of just a treasure that just sits there because there's no other Pokemon in the game available that can evolve. You can't get Misdrevius and you can't get a Murkrow in the wild in either of those games. Kind of crazy to think that there would be something like that. I wonder what other things there could be. Let's see. I want to check something out. Sorry, I just want to check something out, make sure everything's okay. Yeah, we're doing okay. I'll start with the stream. We're getting to the last 10 minutes though. Oh, hello, fan. Nice to meet you. Before we get to the end of this, is there any other questions you want me to answer before I end this? Anything? I'm happy to talk about anything on here. I'm glad that this has actually been a pretty fun stream and it's been fun talking with so many of you. Should I do this again maybe in the future? I don't know. I'm gonna get close to the end of this thing soon. I just have 10 minutes to go. I want to end this at 8 o'clock. Is there anything? Oh, thank you, Puffy Sparkles. I'm glad you had a lot of fun. If anyone has any idea for what I should do in the future, just let me know. I'm happy to do another stream for all of you. Unfortunately, I do. Thank you. Glad you had a lot of fun. I will definitely do that again in the future. Maybe when I hit 2.5k. Sorry, yeah, 2.5k. 2,500. If you guys want to help me get there, please help me get to that goal. Again, I'm sorry if I've been a little laggy recently. I've had a lot of other stuff that I've been kind of worried about going on in my life right now, but trust me, October is where we're getting back on track. And I'm excited to do this with all of you next week. We're going to open this up and we're going to find a lot of fun things inside of here. Maybe we'll get something really good. Maybe not, but that's what the fun of Trick or Trade is. I'd open this right now, but nah, we're going to save this for October 1st. Oh, and just want to let you alert all of you, expect a short every day in October from Trick or Trade. I'm going to give them cute names. Maybe our first one will be Trick or Treat. Guess we'll find out. Hopefully we get ourselves a Gengar out of here, but I have no idea. I guess I could just end with one question of, okay, next question. What's your favorite holiday-based Pokemon? Oh, holiday-based Pokemon. Thank you, Puffy Sparkles. Huh, holiday-based Pokemon. I guess if I had to pick one, it might be Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist. I love Halloween. Halloween is the best. Definitely a good thing to have. I don't know. Gourgeist and Pumpkaboo are a really cool line. I also really like that they come in different sizes. I'm actually kind of surprised that Pokemon Center did not include that. I mean, they made every variant of. They made every variant of what's his name of Furfrou, and they made every variant of Vivillon. Yet they didn't do a large and a tiny size of Pumpkaboo or Gourgeist. That's a pretty good Pokemon. I will say this though. I mean, I do think it is interesting to think that we have a lot of Pokemon that come in different shapes and sizes. I think it was kind of cool that we finally got one of those, like a big pumpkin and a tiny pumpkin. Imagine if they did that same thing for Applin. That would have actually made it a little cooler, in my opinion. That we have like the big size Applin, the small size Applin, or the mini size and extra large Applin. I don't know, because apples come in a variety of sizes. Because you could pick one off the tree where it's just very, very tiny. I'm also, I guess I could say, if I was thinking of other things that I wish the games had done better, is I kind of wish that in. Delibird. That's a nice Pokemon. Did you know that the bag it's holding is actually its tail? How does it fit so much stuff inside of that tail? I think as a Pokemon professor, that's a question I'm better off never knowing the answer to. But it is Santa's little helper, so that's good to know. I am gonna do a Christmas special again this year. Stay tuned for that one. I haven't decided what Pokemon I'm gonna do for that one, but it might be a Pokemon line. So yeah, I want you all to stay. Magic of Christmas. Hey, we're still in September. Don't start on Christmas until after October ends. I'm sorry. I mean, I do think Thanksgiving's a nice holiday, but yeah, I think it's better just to wait for when Halloween comes to an end. Looking forward to Halloween though. Might dress up, might go do some fun stuff, and probably I'll have some candy. You looking forward to Halloween, trainers? What's that? Actually, if I guess I could ask, what's your favorite final holiday of the final four? The final four being Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Final four of the year. I just think it's kind of crazy to think that here we are at the end of the year, that we're almost at the end of the year. I'm also pretty shocked that we're almost at the end of the year and I finally hit my goal, thanks to all of you. It's been great doing this with all of you, and I'm going to keep doing it for the future. I'm also going to learn to do some special videos as I get better. I'm going to try to do better videos with better software. Just expect that they might come out at different times. I'm still going to try to post weekly in 2025, and I am sorry though for several delays I've had this year. I just hope that you can forgive me and we can keep going. Carve a pumpkin with your niece and nephew again. That's cute. Carving pumpkins is fun. I used to do that with my parents all the time. One of the most fun one. I remember our neighbor had a funny one where he would always have these very goofy pumpkins for his Halloween party, and one of them he had actually looked like it had blown chunks. That's what was really funny, though. It was very good for the kids. But yeah, pumpkin carving's fun. Eating candy, watching scary movies. A lot of fun stuff we could do for Halloween, especially dress up. Anyone know what they're going to go for Halloween, or anyone have any idea what they're going to do? Well, I just hope that it's been well, trainers. It's been fun. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this very first live stream ever. And I hope that you all take care. Hopefully, I get to do this again in the future. But until then, stay good, stay gold as gimme. Sorry, just like gimme gold. Stay good as gold. Palm out.